Welcome back to the show, everyone. Caring Senior Service is here with me, Dean White. Hello, Dean.
Hi, Bree. Good to see you again.
I always love your slogan. We want every senior to be happy, healthy, and
at home.
At home.
100%.
I love
100%.
that.
You know, all of us enjoy being at home. And, you know, as you get older, the exchange of either being home or going into a facility, we have seen so many seniors be able to live longer and happier and healthier, you know, when they're surrounded by the surroundings that they know. And of course, their loved ones.
Absolutely.
You know, in fact, we have a client, his name is Russ. Russ was at a care facility, a really wonderful one, but he was only able to see his family about once or twice a week. And the son said, you know what, I'm gonna move Dad home. And sure enough, they redid his house, brought Dad in on the bottom floor, and they really thought that Dad was only gonna make it for a couple more months. Do you know when he came in, he wasn't walking, anything like that. Now he is walking.
Oh my
He seems
goodness.
great health. He doesn't need as much care. Because he's around his loved ones.
Right.
And it's not always the case that you can bring Dad or Mom home, but if they could even be at their home, they become healthier and happier.
Well, I mean, to me, if they go into a facility or another type of nursing home, I'm not sure what they're called today.
Yeah.
I would think that there's a sense of an isolation, even though completely surrounded by staff and other people who are there. I don't know. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, you know, today we're talking a little bit about cost. And a lot of times people go, oh gosh, I don't know when to call a caregiver. And it looks like it might be less expensive to go into a facility. Well, the hard part is that when you go into a facility, they don't tell you all the costs that come around. And we ourselves are in about a dozen different facilities because the care isn't always 24/7 there.
Interesting.
And so it's really good to, at least at this point, make a phone call, talk to somebody like me that's not a pressure person, and find out what all the costs are. You know, they always say knowledge is really powerful, right? So be informed. And because the end result is, if you go into a care facility, you could be required to put down a very, very large deposit, and then you work up a retainer that just pulls from that. Where versus with care with us, you just pay as you go. And so if you all of a sudden are going on vacation with family, then you just cancel service that week and you're not paying for it. Where in a facility, then of course you're still paying for that week that you may not be there.
Absolutely. And there's other ways to save money as well, right? Preventative care, maximizing health, peace of mind.
Yeah, well, a lot of times people don't realize there's other things that are there to help them. One, if you're a veteran, there's only about 12 companies in the whole Orange County. There's like 310 of us companies, but about a dozen that are approved with the VA, and I'm one of them. So the VA has benefits if you are a veteran or if you are married to a veteran, there could be benefits for you. So that's one thing. Long-term care. A lot of people have long-term care, have been paying on it, or have life insurance that have long-term care. Those are other ways to mitigate the cost. But the main thing that you talked about was preventative care. It's truly true. If we're able to bring a caregiver in that can come and help with Mom on a daily basis, even if it's for 4 hours, that could prevent a fall, that could prevent a broken hip, a broken shoulder. We had a senior that recently tripped and broke her nose and her rib.
Oh my.
And we were called, if we were notified before that, this is somebody that's a new client, so if we were notified before that, that person may not have had that fall, right? And we all think that we're sure-footed, but when we start forgetting medication, when we start forgetting things that we need to get done or can't reach that top shelf, it might be time just to get an evaluation.
You know, we've talked about this before, Dean, where there's circumstances where people don't have loved ones surrounding them in the immediate area. You know, maybe their children are in another state, their spouse has passed, they still want that independence. So I think that's a really great opportunity for a service such as yours to come in and fill those needs and those voids, because I think don't you even offer one-on-one time where your staff can just sit and play games?
Yeah, it's
Go shopping.
It's so true, Bree. We have a new client. Her name is Deb, and Deb doesn't have anybody. She called and she goes, I could tell that my mental acuity is starting to slip a little bit. I want to bring in a caregiver now because I don't know what the next couple of years is going to look like. And she was wise enough and brave enough to make a phone call. I said, do you have any kids nearby? No, I never had kids. I never got married. I said, family? She goes, I'm not in contact with my family. And I said, well, who's your advocate? And she goes, I have no one. And I said, Deb, we can become your advocate. She has a financial advocate, and then she has her health advocate, which is us. And we work together, and we were able to meet with her today while she is completely, mentally, sharp and acute. But she's able to look at everything, make all the plans, so as the years go forward, she has everything in place. And that peace of mind is huge. And if there's anybody in the Laguna Woods area that is alone, please call. I think you'll find that we're, very, very understanding, very compassionate. We are not people that are going to pressure or push. We're going to align things that you feel comfortable and safe.
So in a situation that you're in with Deb, you're kind of getting in on the ground floor with her, right?
That's right.
And so as she ages and as she moves through her life, you'll already be there knowing what meds she's going to have to take.
That's right.
Possibly even setting her up with the different recreational activities that the village offers. I mean, you can really sort of grow with her, right?
100%. Today we're going to take her to her Bible study.
Oh my goodness.
And then she has a friend that she meets on Thursdays for lunch. She recognizes that she doesn't want to drive anymore because she doesn't want to crash her car. So the caregiver goes over, drives her car for her, and takes her to a park and to lunch and to her outings, to the doctor visits, and then reports everything back to the other advocate that she has. And she has people that are surrounded by her and come alongside. At the same time, we're looking for a really strong caregiver that understands the situation, that can be trustworthy and love her through everything.
And be there with her through
100%.
Through the duration, right?
That's right.
Let's talk about some other opportunities that caregivers can give and provide for clients.
Yeah, in fact, I think we have a slide of that, just of that they can do some laundry. They can go, one client, every day we get over there, we prepare breakfast, then we clean one of the rooms, like the bedroom or the living room, make the bed, do the laundry, and then give her lunch, and then we prepare a dinner that we put in the oven. Or not put in the oven, put it in the refrigerator, so that she can put it in the oven.
It'll be nice and hot.
That'll be nice. And then there's things that come up that the family is off, there's some miles away. And so we've had to work with the gardener at one time. The garage door didn't open up. And so they let us know, and we don't charge for those things. We just come alongside the family. A trip to the doctor is often a big one. And then we take notes what happened in the doctor visit. Then we send those notes back to the kids so they know what happened. And also it's great for the client to look back and go, oh yeah, the doctor did say that. Wow. We help with physical therapy, of course, medication reminders. And if there's something that the client really enjoys, if it be a needlepoint to Bible study to a different group that they're a part of, we want to encourage those things.
Okay.
And so we come alongside so they get to continue to enjoy their life.
I love that, Dean. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us today.
You bet,
So
Bree.
valuable. Coming up after the break, we've got Old Pros. Stay with us.